Over to you, Sarah Fogg from SSE PLC, and then see you afterwards for the networking.
Thank you, Estelle. It's my absolute privilege to be closing off this amazing event. It's been truly inspirational. So from the Tai Chi at the beginning that made us feel all very centered and zen. We've been on a journey today through what it takes to be a strategic BRM with Dennis, Mark, Tara, Megana and Matt facilitating. Then we had Trevor going through all of the benefits, which was amazing too, and a very inspirational speech and conversation with Pez and Anthony about what it takes to be a CIO coming from a BRM background. And I think that was it was really interesting actually to see the relationship between Pez and Anthony as well, and how that dynamic has worked over the years for them. And then, of course, we just had this panelist sessions, question and answers with Stephen and Richard. So, yeah, it's been another excellent day on top of yesterday. But I also have to thank Estelle, who's been our Master of Ceremonies, MC Estelle. She's been the linchpin in all of this and helped us enormously to get the marketing right and the registration process, etc. And then the rest of the organisation team. Yeah, for quite a while, it was just me, Pez, Jeremy and Jag, thinking that this would be a good idea, not really having the time to dedicate to it. And do you know what? If you just reach out to your network and you get a small team together, small teams can achieve great things. And the people like Jeremy Byrne, Jack, etc., all the people you've seen organising this have been amazing. We couldn't have done it without them. I hope that the sessions were good for you. Like we made an effort to make sure it was a mix of presentation types. So we didn't just have PowerPoint all the time. We had the sidebar chats, which were quite interactive and funny and engaging. And then we had the panels and the Q&A. So hopefully the mix of all of those things have been good for people, and the structure of having 2 half days instead of 1 whole day. But we will be sending out a survey to see if you have any feedback for us, for what we can learn from. And I guess one of the main things I've learned today is that BRM is never finished, right? We've learned an awful lot today, all of us, and we can all do more value plans, more benefit maps, but it's a role that will keep evolving as well. So the Institute is constantly revising the language we use, etc. And we'll never get to a point where we're completely mature. We'll always have challenges. Digital comes along, agile comes along, we need to adapt. So we're all constantly learning, no matter how long we've been in the role. So the content in the last couple of days has been really important. But actually, I think probably the most important thing is the spirit that we have, right? As BRMs, relationships really matter to us, and having trust in each other is something that matters to all of us innately, really. And so this type of event is incredibly engaging and therefore tiring as well. Much more engaging than a project management type forum, I think. But my takeaways are mainly not just the content and the spirit, but also the power of volunteering. So the power of volunteering comes from the fact that we're all giving some personal effort here. You're giving something of yourself, and that it can be massively rewarding. And I think that's not only in the BRM world, but also if you think about things in the wider community like Parkrun, which is starting up again tomorrow. Parkrun is entirely run by volunteers, and because of that, it has a different feel about it, and something that's very special. I have a friend actually who is a serial volunteer. He's a parkrun director, he's a coach at my running club, he's a mascot at Maidenhead United Football Club, he's a scout leader, and all of those things fell away through COVID, and he suddenly didn't know who he was anymore. That's how volunteering is so integral into the person that he is. So all those things are coming back now, and he's getting back to his normal self. Maybe people don't always realise that the BRM Institute is a not-for-profit organisation. It's run through the strong sense of purpose that Aaron and the others really have in trying to make the world a better place through relationships. And I think volunteering for the BRM Institute and for this UK community is something that's given me a great deal of reward. And I guess as well, the power of volunteering, we've also got the power of purpose. So as Aaron will tell you, the relationships are the things that are going to make organisations work better. And then ultimately that will come down to making the planet better, saving the planet. And I feel a direct connection to that working for SSE, Scottish and Southern Electricity, because we're going to be putting in IT systems that support the installation of millions of electronic vehicle charging points. We're part of COP26 in November. And what we do has a real purpose to it. And I'm sure every BRM here, whatever organisation they are part of, that sense of purpose is going to be really key for everyone. And then the other thing is the power of community. So this UK community of BRMs, COVID as well has taught us about how important a community can be and how we have to rely on each other. And it's okay to be vulnerable and look for support. And it's good to give that support as well. So I hope that this UK community, we will build trust amongst ourselves and be able to make sure that we can give and receive support ongoing. And the power of family, well, BRM is a family, we are a family, and hopefully we can all make that happen through this community as well. So I guess the last thing to say is about what happens going forward. And as I say, Jag, Pez, Jeremy and I have been doing this informally for quite a while now, and we've been absolutely staggered by the level of commitment that people are prepared to put in, because it matters to people. And so what we'd like to do is to change this informal UK BRM community into something a bit more formal. The BRM Institute would call it the UK chapter. So we will look for some help in doing that. We absolutely need to pull in more people to help. We couldn't do it ourselves. And so we will be looking for volunteers. And one of our ambitions is to have an in-person event in November. So possibly similar content and style to what we experienced here online, but doing it in person, maybe in Birmingham NEC in November. But to make that happen, and how do we make it happen for free? We're going to need a lot of people to help, and so we'd really like to pull on this community to see if we can make that happen and get the BRM UK chapter onto a more formal footing. And then it's also about listening to all you guys as well. Like, what do you need? What was good about this? What could be better? Do we need more of this? Do we just need a hangout zone, like, once a month, just have a BRM lounge to hang out and chat? Occasionally, is the LinkedIn community enough? How do we fire questions at each other and support each other with the answers and be humble and vulnerable at the same time? So I hope today was a worthwhile investment of your time. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, then the fun doesn't stop, because we're about to turn off the cameras, and I'll hand over to Jag to kick off the BRM lounge.